What's up, yogis? Namaste. Thank you so much for tuning in to Tina Diana Yoga. Today I have a nice juicy flow for you that will get you a little bit deeper into your hips and your hamstrings. So we're gonna start today lying down on our back. So make your way down any way that feels good at the moment. Once you get down there, bring your feet hips-width distance. And then draw your heels a little bit closer in towards your seat. Flex your right foot on top of your left thigh. So we're gonna come into a reclined half pigeon to begin. So opening that right hip. So super flex through that right foot to protect your right knee. And then bring your left palm to the top of your left thigh. Right palm to your right inner thigh, and then begin to just soften the shoulders, right? Soften the tail, long spine as you gently press that right thigh away from you. You can either hang here or lift your left foot, interlacing either underneath your left thigh or maybe at your left shin. You could take a moment here to roll out your left ankle, say hello. And then see if you can, again, get a little heavier through the shoulders and the tail here. Chin draws in as you breathe some love into your outer right hip, right? So our hip center, right, the second chakra, is the home for our emotions, for life experience. So we can hold quite a bit, right, in this energy center. So just beginning to awaken to all of that, right, all of what lives in that hip region. You might even rock a bit side to side to just slowly begin to communicate with the right hip. It might have something to say. See if you can listen with open ears, right? And then softly come back to center. As you release the left foot to the ground, yogi toe lock with your right peace fingers, your right big toe. Keep your left palm at the top of your left thigh and come into half happy baby. So you begin to drag, right, that right knee in towards your right underarm. Oh my goodness. Think ankle in line with knee. If all feels well in the front of the left thigh, you might even lengthen your left leg long, reaching through that left heel. And then keep breathing into that right hip. See if you can find a little softness in the jaw, a little bit more space between the teeth, tongue relaxes. Right? The jaw and our throat center are very much related to our hip center. You might even play with lengthening that right leg out a bit. Ooh, but just softly, right, as early. And then gently bring the right leg back into center. Release yogi toe lock. Drag the right knee over to the left. Hips a little to the right, coming into a supine twist. So really getting into the outer right hip there. If you can, look towards your right hand. Let your eyes soften, or they might even close. Let the shoulders soften a bit more, especially that left shoulder. Gently bring it back to center. Both knees bend, both feet kiss the ground. Flex your left foot on top of your right thigh. Starting, right, with the basics. Right palm top of right thigh, left palm, left inner thigh. Flex your left foot to protect your lovely knee. Long spine as you gently press the heel of your left hand into your left thigh. Maybe lifting the right foot, interlacing underneath the thigh or the shin. Keeping that left foot flexed, keeping as much softness as possible in your shoulders. Breathing into your outer left hip. Loving awareness. Maybe rock side to side. This hip might be saying something completely different. Let's see if you can be with that. As you bring it all back into center, releasing the right foot to the ground, yogi toe lock your left big toe with your left peace fingers. Nuzzle, nuzzle that left knee towards your left armpit. Now, it most likely will not make it there, right? But that's the direction that the energy is going. Organize ankle over knee. You might lengthen the right leg, still active, reaching forward through that right heel. Staying super heavy through the right hip and the right shoulder, maybe playing with finding a little length through the left leg by reaching through the heel. Just beginning to awaken those hammies also. Back side of our body, back side of our legs, hold our past as well. And as you bring the left knee into center, bending it, dragging the hips to the left, knee over to the right, splash yourself open here, let your shoulders soften, hips, thighs soften. And see if you can smooth out the breath. With care, bring everything back to center. Bending the knees, feet to the ground. Hug both of the knees in towards your chest and even a little bit out. So think almost like a child's pose flavor with this. Knees wide. Little rock side to side. And then keep your knees as they are in towards your chest. Lengthen your arms long on the ground, palms face down. Begin to, from your belly, find little rocks and rolls, little rocks and rolls. Keep it rocking and rolling. Rocking and rolling, rocking and rolling. All the way to a standing forward fold. Use your hands to help you if you need. You can let there be a little give or maybe a lot of give in the knees as your head falls. Grabbing opposite elbows here, you can hang for a moment. A deep breath in, and then let it pour out your mouth. Releasing the arms to dangle long. Feet hips width. Keep your heels where they are. Pivot your toes out. Drop your seat towards the ground. Elbows in towards your inner thighs. So this is Malasana pose, squat pose. So really beginning to open through the inner thighs, the inner leg lines. Let's see if you can root through all four corners of your feet. See if you can find a little pelvic floor lift here. So it's a squeezing and lifting of the sit bones, which we call Mula Bandha, right? Our root lock that helps to lift us and lengthen us. Reaching up through the crown. Soften your eyes here for a moment. Send a deep breath into your lungs. As you breathe out, palms to the earth, lengthen the legs, parallel the feet, drop the head. Right here, keep the head heavy as you slowly roll up, vertebra by vertebra, to Tadasana, mountain pose, arms wide, palms face forward. Breathe in to circle the arms around you, palms pressed above you, Urdhva Hastasana. See if you can look up towards your hands. You might shift a little bit more weight forward into your toes as you reach your fingertips up and back. So just a slight back bend. And as you breathe out, you can let your prayer wash all the way through you as you hinge at the hips and fold your way back into yourself. Plant your palms wide. Stay with me here. You're going to step your right foot back, left foot back, straight into plank as you breathe in. So find that length here from your heels to your crown. Find an evenness, right, between the hips and the shoulders. Palms spread wide. Lightly draw your belly up and in, right? This is the belly lock, Uddiyana Bandha. Smooth out the breath. Take a deep breath in, and on your next breath out, lift your hips up and back from the belly, downward facing dog. You can pedal out your heels here for a moment. Maybe hips side to side, wagging the tail of the dog. Let it get as groovy as you'd like it to. This is like a little down dog dance. And then come to center. See if you can lift your toes. So flare the toes off the earth, drop the heels. Press down through the finger pads. Get long and strong through the arms as you let your head fall between them. And drop the toes to the ground. Drag your ribs in, belly in. Right here as you breathe in, stay super steady, right? So nothing really moves as you lift your right leg up, three-legged dog. And then bend your right knee. You can open your right hip. Ooh, roll out your right ankle. With the hip open, see if you can even out through the shoulders. So a little drop through your right shoulder. Maybe a little peek under your left arm even. Maybe a little tap, tap of your left heel down towards the ground. So getting into that left hamstring. Take a deep breath in, come back to center. Three-legged dog, pinky toe side of that right foot down. As you breathe out, drag the right knee out towards your right tricep, maybe even up towards your right shoulder. And then drop the right foot outside your right hand. Come up on your fingertips, my friends, and then drop your back knee to the ground happily. Untuck your back foot. Try to tense your left fingertips. So try to come up on your left fingertips as you reach your right fingertips. Ooh, up and even a little bit back. Okay, so not straight up. We want to think of one sort of even line between the arms. Okay, so at a slight diagonal. And so really beginning to let that left hip drop a bit as you drag your left shoulder back. Just breathing, right? Sending love to the front of that left thigh, left hip. Get expansive through the collarbones one last moment. Maybe your eyes even closed. Breathe it in. And then breathe out. Drop your left fingertips inside, right fingertips inside your right foot. And then keep the fingertips where they are. Begin to just lift the hips, lengthening the front leg. You might even lift your front toes. So this is a little half split action here, right? So getting into those right hamstrings. See if you can drag your right hip back a bit, left hip forward. See if you can maintain a little length through the spine. Your chin can draw in. A little softness to the shoulders though. The more you curl those right toes towards the crown of the head, the more you'll feel in the back of that right leg. So just know that. On your next breath in, gently rebend your front knee, replant your front foot. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee as you breathe in. You're in a wide, low lunge. Look forward. And then plant your palms, step it back, downward facing dog. Breathe in to come forward, plank pose right here. Breathe out, child's pose. Drop your knees, drop your forehead. Lift your head, look forward, breathe in, swim yourself forward, heart between the palms, legs long, point the toes. Breathe in to lift your head and your heart together, baby cobra. Drag your elbows in. You might even lift your palms from the earth. Keep your toes on the ground. And then plant your palms, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Right back to home base. Fingertips root, arms long, Head drops. Left leg lifts as you breathe in. Bend your left knee. And then begin to open the left hip, roll out the left ankle. Even out through the upper body. So drop your left shoulder, little lift through your right arm, little peek underneath it. Maybe a little pulse of that right heel down towards the ground. Stay long through the arms, fingertips rooted. And then come back, three-legged dog. Left leg lifts from the inner thigh. Breathe it in. Breathe out, left knee out towards your left tricep. Maybe a little lift towards your left underarm. Dome the spine. And then left foot outside your left hand. Come up on your fingertips. Drop your back knee. Untuck your back toes. Oh, okay. Right fingertips to the ground. Left fingertips to the sky. As you take a nice breath in. Roll your right shoulder back. And then see if you can really reach through those left fingertips to allow the front of the heart to open up a little bit more. Eyes soften, maybe they close. Send your awareness, your love to the front of your right hip, right thigh. On your next breath out, drop your left fingertips inside your left foot. Keep the fingertips as they are, lift the hips, begin to drag the hips back towards your right heel as you lengthen your front leg. Half split, a wider one than usual. Let your chin draw in. See if you can maintain a little integrity through the spine as you play with curling those left toes towards you. Deep breathing. Next breath in, re-bend your left knee, plant your left foot, tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, breathe it in, and then breathe out, plant your palms, step back, downward facing dog. Breathe in to come forward, plank pose. Breathing out, this time elbows stay in, lower yourself slow and steady all the way to the ground. Point the toes, lift the thighs, and then breathe in to lift the heart. See if you can lift the eyes without lifting the chin. Breathe out, gently moving back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in, and then stick your tongue out, lion's breath. Oh yeah, one more, breathe in. Breathe something out. Lift your right leg up here, breathing in. Drag your right knee this time in towards your nose. Find that doming of the spine. And then plant your right foot between your palms. Spin your back heel down. So heel to heel ratio already with the feet. And then let your left arm open you up right into Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. So take a moment to look down into yourself. Okay, make sure those back toes are turned forward a little bit. Right knee moving forward and out towards your pinky toe. And then find a little bit more reach back through your left fingertips to get your shoulders over your hips. Find the connection to the belly and the low ribs. Find the eyes drifting towards the front palm. Flip both palms up to the sky. Breathe in, peaceful warrior. Left palm lands lightly on left thigh. Right fingertips reach up and maybe a little bit back. From here, lengthen your front leg. Pause. Reverse triangle. Find that long line of energy. Right fingertips, right big toe. Let your left shoulder spin back a bit. Deep breath in. And then as you breathe out, re-bend your right knee over your right ankle. Right forearm on right thigh. Left arm over left ear, extended side angle. Now, if the arm over the ear is not accessible, you can reach the left fingertips straight to the sky, or even left palm on left hip, okay? Wherever you're at, right, find the strength of your inner thighs, a little lift through the inner arch of your back foot, a little lightness through your bottom forearm here as you find length through the bottom ribs, right shoulder spinning back. Long line of energy, outer edge of left foot to left fingertips. Scoop that right hip underneath you a little bit more as you move your right knee forward and out. One last moment here, leaning back into the left shoulder as the right ribs come forward. And then gently drop your palms to frame your front foot. Lift your back heel. Left fingertips to the ground. Breathe in, right fingertips to the sky. It's a little low lunge twist. This time back knee lifted. And then plant your left palm right here. Stay with me. This one's a little funkadelic. So you're going to begin to spin onto the outer edge of your left foot as you toe heel your right foot towards the center of your mat with your right toes facing out. Okay? So on the outer edge of your left foot, and then your right leg is sort of in this open hip flavor. Press down into the earth, roll your left shoulder back, and then begin to, this one's extra fun for the outer left hip there, begin to lower your left hip down. Keep pressing your left palm into the earth, left shoulder rolls back, reach back through your right fingertips. We're gonna flow with the breath here. Breathe in to lift your left hip, right arm over right ear. Breathe out, drop the left hip, reach. Breathe in, lift the hip. Breathe out, lower. Slow and steady. One more, breathe in. Lean back into the right shoulder and then breathe out, drop the left hip. Last one, breathe in, lift. Press into the earth. And then spin your right palm back under your right shoulder. Come into downward facing dog right from here. And pedal it out. Take a moment, child's pose. Drop your knees, drop your forehead. And then even taking a moment to come up to seated hero's pose. You can shake out your arms. That was a lot. Like, shake it off, right? And then come back, palms wide, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Lifting your left leg up here as you breathe in. Dragging your left knee in towards your nose as you breathe out. Lift the back heel, hollow the belly, lift the spine. Plant the left foot between your palms. Spin your back heel down. The right arm circles you open straight into warrior two. So right into this super open, hipped, open arm warrior. Feel that strength through the back leg. From the outer leg line, lift through the inner arch. Expansiveness through the left leg, through the arms. Look towards your left palm. Think shoulder blades kiss along the back. Flip the palms up. Breathe in, peaceful warriors. And then begin to just lengthen your left leg by pressing down through the big toe mound. Peel your right shoulder back a bit. Take a deep breath in. Breathe out, rebend left knee over left ankle, left forearm softly on left thigh as the right arm comes wherever it needs to be, right? Over the ear, straight up to the sky, or hand on hip. Right away, find the strength in your legs to find lightness in the forearm, left shoulder spins back. At the same time, lean back into your right shoulder. Find the gathering of the ribs. Lift through the inner arch of the back foot. Inner thighs super duper working here. Left hip comes underneath you a little bit more. One last cycle of breath. And then on your exhale, come on down, palms frame your front foot, back heel lifts, right fingertips to the ground, left fingertips to the sky, breathe it in. And then plant your right palm on the ground. It's simultaneous, so as you begin to toe heel your left foot out, you come to the outer edge of your right foot. And then once you get there, press into the earth to lift your bottom hip into your top hip. Maybe left arm over left ear. And then drop your right hip down to the ground. Ooh, it can be intense. Okay, see if you can be with it. Breathe in, press into the earth to lift, left arm over left ear. Breathe out, drop the hip. Reach back through the left fingertips and the eyes. Breathe in, lift. Breathe out, lower. Breathe in, lift. Breathe out, lower. One more lift up here as you breathe in, lean back into your left shoulder. And then plant your left palm back where it was. Come back downward facing dog. Into child's pose. Take a moment, reconnect with your breath. And then lift your head. Again, swim yourself forward here. Baby cobra. Big toes touch. Point the toes, lift the thighs. Breathe in, lift. This time you might even bring your fingertips to the earth a little bit wider than shoulders width. And then staying really solid through the legs, you might press the fingertips into the earth. Ooh, maybe a little swim through the shoulders and the chest. You might swim and sneak yourself all the way back down. Palms under, shoulders, breathe in, baby cobra. Breathe out, downward facing dog. We're gonna go for a little half pigeon right here. Lift your right leg up, breathing in. Again, bend your right knee, open your right hip, even out through the shoulders. Breathe in, right leg long. Breathe out, right knee to your right tricep, maybe the shoulder. And then drop your right foot in line with your left wrist as your right shin comes to the ground. Now, really important step here. Lengthen that left leg long behind you. So untucking the toes, lengthen the left leg long, fingertips on the ground. We want to think about bringing your left hip forward, right hip back a bit. So by all means, a blanket or two, if you have it around the house, underneath the hips can be really, really supportive, especially if you find you're super elevated from the ground, okay? We want this practice to always meet us where we are, right? So less forcing and more letting the shape meet you. And then once you find your place, fingertips root, right? Shoulders peel back, collarbones open, look up, lift your chin, look up. One big long stretch from the chin, right, all the way to your left toes. And then you might choose to stay there or begin to gently hinge at the hips. I would advise, especially if half pigeon is not a shape that you typically take in your practice, come up onto your forearms and stay here. You might even come into a little prayer, palms press. Let your head drop as much as possible, but whenever you feel necessary to sigh out the mouth, to release something that needs to be released, I invite you to do so. Beginning to slowly reverse your way out of it. Take your time with the transitions. Walk your hands back to your right shin. Begin to shift all the weight into your right hip so that you can free up that left leg to swing long in front of you. We're going to go for a little seated spinal twist right here. So bring your right foot outside your left leg. Left leg still stays long. Reach through that left heel. Right fingertips come behind you. Right, before you go anywhere, peel that right shoulder back. Left fingertips to the sky as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, twisting to the right, so it can either be elbow outside your right thigh to spin yourself open, or maybe a hug of your right knee in your left elbow crease. Okay, so choosing the variation that's right for you on this side. And seeing if you can even your seat into the earth. Sitting up a little bit taller through the spine. As you peel your right shoulder back, seeing if you can look back. So this one is a great hip opening, especially in the outer right hip on this side, but also a twist right from the belly, right? So our navel center, our third chakra, is where we digest, where we integrate. So we've built all this awareness to what's going on in the hips. And then the next part of that is that we can begin to digest that emotion, past experience, and compost it so we can continue growing. Begin to gently come back to center. Find a counter twist. So let your right hip lift. Try to drop your forehead towards the ground on the left side. And gently come back to center. Feet to the earth, knees bent. Altar pose, palms behind you, fingers point in towards the hips. Breathe in to lift the hips, lift the heart, let the head hang. Again, you can stick your tongue out. Gently drop the hips down. Cross the ankles, palms in front of you, coming to a soft downward facing dog. Fingertips root, strong arms as you lift the left leg up. Bend the left knee, open the left hip. Left leg long to center, breathe it in, breathe it out. Left knee towards your left tricep. And then dropping left foot towards your right wrist, left shin to the ground. Back leg drops. Untuck your back toes and take a moment to lengthen that back leg. Fingertips, just like roots, into the earth, helping you, right, assisting you with shifting that right hip forward, left hip back. And then take a moment to arch it out. This is a little mini back bend. Let your shoulders soften and roll back. Chin and eyes lift. See if you can drop a little bit more of that right hip down towards the ground. You might hang there if this feels like the most amazing place to you. And then whenever you're ready, or if you're ready today, forearms to the ground. If it feels okay, you might bring your elbows out to the side, create a little shelf for your forehead with your palms. And just give yourself permission to really release soften the shoulders, soften the jaw. And your next breath in, keep your head heavy as you lift your chest. Shift all the weight over into your left hip. Right leg can swing in front of you. Bringing left knee up to the sky, left foot outside, right thigh. Reach forward through your right heel, sit up nice and tall. Okay, and this might be where you're at. You might even grab onto your left shin, right? Because we want to keep the integrity of the spine here. Left fingertips can come behind you. Right fingertips to the sky, breathing in. And then breathing out to find the twist. Sitting up taller with yourself on every breath in. Every breath out, a gentle peeling of the left shoulder back, a twist from the belly. Bring it on back through center. Find a counter twist, forehead over to the right, let your hips lift. Gently come back. Feet to the earth, palms behind you. One last altar pose, breathe in, lift. Breathe something out. Gently drop your seat to the ground. Come back down to the earth, just like how we began. Hug both knees in towards your chest. Taking a full-on happy baby here, so grabbing big toes with your peace fingers or maybe outer edges of the feet or whatever you can connect with. Okay, go for that. Just make sure that you can find a long spine on the ground, right? Tail heavy, shoulders heavy. Maybe you play with lengthening the legs a bit. This pose is happy baby, right? So let it be wherever you're at, a place where you can find a little joy, maybe a little smile. Horse breath, lion's breath. And then gently bringing soles of the feet to connect right here, interlacing around the outer edges of the feet. Shoulders soften, tail softens. Press the outer edges of the feet into the hands as the chin draws in towards the chest. It's like a little floating Baddha Konasana. And then if it's cool with your knees, you might even keep soles of the feet touching as you drop the outer edges of the feet to the ground for a reclined Baddha Konasana. You can bring your palms here to your hips or to your inner thighs. Take a moment to drag the shoulders down away from the ears and then let the shoulders and the shoulder blades soften towards the ground. Allow yourself to rest, Shavasana. I encourage you to stay in Shavasana for as long as you're able to. If it's time for you to get on with the rest of your day, gently coming back into a deeper breathing, bringing your palms to your outer thighs, and then help your knees to come together. And then gently either rolling over to your left side, your moon side, if it's nighttime where you are, or over to the right side, your sun side, if it's still day. Let yourself nuzzle into your arms fetal position for a moment. And your next breath in, lifting yourself up, keeping your eyes soft. Coming to cross-ankled Sukhasana, drawing your palms to press at your heart center, thumbs touch down on your sternum. And sitting up nice and tall. Nice proud seat. And we'll end and seal our practice together with the sound of one Om, the sound of life. Take a deep breath in. Namaste, yogis. Big bows to you and your awesome practice today. Brave practice, getting into the hips and the hamstrings. If you are enjoying this channel and enjoying this practice, feel free to subscribe by hitting the little red button below. And I look forward to seeing you again next time.